Alright guys, back, but not sure if right away we'll be hopping into the game or not. We're in the lobby for New Gettysburg. It's the last best of 3 of this particular group. As said, there's a poll out there on Twitter. It's trying to see what matchup you want to see next. So, or not matchup, which group you want to see next. Currently, Group E is winning by 62%. As that has Mana, DeMuslim, DNS, and Demaga in the group. Other group has Daishi, Lambo, Beastie, Cutie, and Strange. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I personally voted for G because I think Lambo and Beastie are going to make for some of the best matches. But I think Group E also has some really fun players in it too. I'm not going to be too upset no matter which one we get to cast. Oh, my shirt, my top button's come undone. I'm saying my top button is my second top button because, like, if I did top button, this would be like Apollo status of, like, shirt buttoning. As I say, as I can't figure out how to do the top button. There we go. There we go. Yeah, prim and proper in the sense of I can't stand it. Even when you're wearing a tie, I hate this. I think ties look great. I personally like wearing them, but I hate that you have to do that button up for them. Feels bad, man. But yeah, we're just waiting for the go-ahead. I don't know if TakeTV still needs to run commercials or what the case is, but yeah, apparently the prize pool's up to a reported $750, so that's pretty cool to see. If you're just spamming go, 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 go. Oh, are we allowed to? Okay, we are. Cool. Awesome. Well, then let's hop into it. This is going to be the final series of Group F. This last best of 3. Brand new, kicking off right now, though, as Zanster and FeaR fight for the second time. This is a rematch of their initial match of the group. That being said, let's hop into it, shall we? Spawning here on the bottom right side of the map, we got the red Zerg player. It's one of my favorites, Zanster. And when I say favorites, I want to make it very clear. I don't mean in terms of skill. I don't mean in terms of victories. I don't mean in terms of statistics. Zanster is just like one of my favorite people I've got to meet, and I'll go more into that in a moment. Bottom left side, we got the blue Protoss, Dead Pixels, FeaR. Go for a pretty quick scout with that probe, and like I said last time, he should learn from his initial mistakes. One of the worst parts about this 2-0 that happened the first time was FeaR got completely wrecked by Cheese. Proxy hatchery game 1, early pool game 2, didn't stand a chance. So I like that he scouts early, and he's going to take a look at what Zanster's doing. Zanster, however, might be able to use that against him, knowing that FeaR could be a little on edge and perhaps paranoid after the first time around. Maybe he'll just play macro and try and take advantage of that. Now, going back to Zanster for a moment, we had him come out to Hell It's About Time. I actually really enjoyed hanging out with him over there, but the first time I met Zanster was actually at Home Story Cup that summer we had gone, and I got to watch him drink way too much for the small frame of a person he is. And unfortunately, I also got to watch his consequences afterwards. Either way, love this guy to death. Absolutely fun to hang out with. But my favorite Hell It's About Time moment with him was he got really drunk one evening and woke up the next morning in like the lawn of like a Tim Hortons or something, and he just had no idea how he got there. It's like, who gets that drunk at like an event you're competing at, right? Like, I guess there's the after party, so it doesn't really count. But good old Zanster. There's a big beer discussion going on in chat that I have apparently missed out on, by the way. I'm just now getting caught up with some of the, I guess, opinions being voiced. I'm just going to toss in my own 2 cents for this. I'm actually not a huge fan of beer myself. I don't think I can ever drink beer while sober and enjoy it. But once I'm already drunk, I have no problem drinking beer. I don't know why that is, but for me, it's got to start off with rum and end with beer and not the other way around. But, there's a YouTuber out there named iDubbbz. I'm not sure if some of you guys have watched it. I love him just because I can't be that offensive in public, and I wish I could. But he had this thing where he does like Kickstarter crap, and he was really ragging on people for like their beer Kickstarter projects. I would actually, for you beer lovers out there, recommend watching it. It's kind of funny. Pinda Kong, bring up the delay thing once again, and this has been super irritating, guys. We have to wait till the group's finished for me to restart the stream. So right now, the way it's currently working is everybody is supposed to be using 2 minutes of delay. TakeTV, I think, had intended to use 2 minutes of delay, but accidentally went live with 1. So they don't want to restart their broadcast at all. Thus, we will be restarting ours after this group, so I can put 1 minute of delay on instead of 2. As there's been a lot of complaints about things. I've actually had more tweets today about complaints about that delay than I have anything else. This feels sad, man. But we'll be getting that synced up and finished afterwards. The reason we didn't want to restart is because it's a lot of work, and it's going to cost us viewers, and of course, more to the point, it makes life a bit hectic for our YouTube manager and editor, Joey, aka Nice Username, to cut our VODs up all nicely if there's a bunch of cuts in between. So, yeah, they'll be restarting soon. But enough about that. FeaR actually managed to let these lings slip through. I don't think it's too dangerous, but 4 speed lings should be able to pick up at least 4 probe kills here, I feel. If he dances around too much, it might just be more annoying than damage. But still, nonetheless, I'm sure FeaR for a moment thinks, like, not again, not like this, as the lings run past that wall. Good response time out of FeaR, by the way. He's pulling these probes pretty quickly. He's not letting too many of them slip away. So again, yeah, about 4 probes go down and the lings get cleaned up. They also got a lot of scouting when this went on. They saw the extra gateways. They saw Twilight Council be prioritized at the front and not a robo. So FeaR very clearly heading towards the depths. Zanster is going to respond with roaches. Now, actually, I really like TLO's approach to this, where he's been going for a +1, opposed to trying to rush out roaches or anything like that. But roaches can get the job done. Defense. Proxy, ooh, super proxy coming down. Oh man, Zanster's already going to be guessing at an attack, but he's not going to guess for as an all-in because he's got Overlords keeping an eye on the base, and he only sees about 4 gateways. No, he only sees about 3 gateways even, so even worse. This just looks like production. By the way, we had some people sub and resub. I kind of missed that. I want to hit that up really quick. So, XR, first-time player, if you're still watching, thank you for subscribing during the ad break. You're an awesome human being, and I love you. Dan Halton hit us up with a 4-month resub, says, I heart BaseTradeTV, best show on Twitch, and I gotta agree. Thank you so much. There's that ego, right? And then Yegazel SC2 just resubbed for 9 months. I'm saving esports for 9 months, and my wife doesn't know it. Uh-oh. Then she's not going to know about the baby that we just had, and it's going to be really awkward when you show up and have to explain that. I don't even know how you explain that. Good luck, have fun, man. You're a dad. Yay. Or I guess mother? I don't want to assume anything here. It's 2016. I got to be careful. I guess he sees that third coming up. Once again, Zanster actually... Oh, my lord. I didn't even realize. I just assumed he had seen it. He didn't see the gateways with that third drone, so he just takes the base, and now he's surprised by a lot of adepts. And you're hearing some, like, complacency in ADD, guys, because I actually feel like this game's over. Like, FeaR should win this. I'm actually really impressed if Zanster defends, because he gets so caught off guard by this. And it's not to say he wasn't already prepared, right? Like, he went for the Roach Warrant. He didn't make too many drones, but he did make a lot of drones, unfortunately. So, not the greatest army supply to show for this. I thought FeaR, by the way, was going to transfer through with all the adepts. Cancels about half of them. The rest go through to the natural base. Drones getting pulled away and transferred, not killed. So while I thought this was all doom and gloom, this actually isn't looking so bad. Because while FeaR trades out for what is possible harass, he loses the potential to take a big army fight for it. Now that being said, there's still a lot of adepts that need to be cleaned up. This 4th base looks like it is going to get killed. He's got to be careful killing it though. He doesn't want to deal with the broodlings. So yeah, I like that he focuses on the roaches instead and transfers on through. That's a bit of a freebie for later. More roaches over here to intercept. He wants to get to that drone line. He's trying to shift Q on so many different drones. It's not going to happen like this though. He may have been better off fighting the roaches. He decides to focus on the workers though and starts picking up the kills, and there we go. Goes from like barely 15 to like 30 something. Transfers back, kills the hatchery, has that second round of warpins good to go, and FeaR has got a lot of damage done now. This was something that was actually looking like it might not have been enough. But as this unfortunate, the proxy gateways, usually if it's just one gateway, you lose it, not the end of the world. It was a little bit of an investment. But this is 3 gateways and 2 pylons going down, so FeaR's losing a ton for this. Although Zanster doesn't kill the probe, so FeaR can just repower the gateways? Does he realize this? He's busy looking elsewhere at the adepts. Transferring through, looking to chase those drones all the way to the main. Oh, more kills and more slaughter. That being said, though, without those powered gateways and without warping potential, there's no more coming in. Other side of the map, defense necessary. A big depower over here. This is 4 gateways in the robo getting shut down. FeaR's actually only on 1 gateway worth of production. He actually cannot spend the money that he currently has banked up. this is a huge problem. If he recognizes that he's got the gateways in the top right, maybe he can get some going on over there. He's got to re-pylon power these buildings. He's doing it from the backside instead of the front side this time around. Maybe that's a better idea. I don't know, but real talk, this got really messy for FeaR really quickly. He went from looking to be in position to actually control the drones, keep policing Zanster for a long time, to actually being maybe a little bit screwed here. I say that lightly, but I mean, even with an Immortal coming out, he's down to 14 army supply. His production really got cut out here. With the additional round of roaches approaching the natural base, yeah, the probes are getting just pulled away. They're going to have to fight, though. He needs some sort of buffer for that Immortal to have a chance to do damage. Otherwise, it just pops out into the clutch of the roaches. Fortunately, the probes... they try their best to defend, ultimately die for it. 15 go down here. The Immortal has not had its barrier popped yet, by the way. Expertly being microed here by FeaR, but even then... Well, I say even then it's not going to be enough, but it might just actually be enough, funny enough. Enough. I'll say enough 3 more times. Not anymore. The Immortal comes down, and he's looking for these shots, and some of these roaches are within one-shot range. Another one pops off, another one pops off. Cleans it up. But there's round 2. And that's going to be game. GG! Zanster takes game number 1. It's best of 3 finals for the group. That was a weird game. That was a weird game for a lot of reasons, and normally I mean, I try not to be too picky. I think there's a lot of mistakes on both sides for that game. There's a lot of cool moves, but heavily outweighed by the mistakes. Yeah. That's all there really is to be said about it. We got game 2 coming up here soon. Small commercial break while we get into it. I'll see you guys soon. Okay, ended the commercials a bit earlier than expected, but that's okay because we got into the game. Spawning here in the top left side, he is up 1-0 currently. It's going to be the red Zerg player, Zanster. Woo! It's on the bottom right going to be the blue Protoss Dead Pixels FeaR. And a big thank you to 6L6 Pancakes. Pancake hype. Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much, sir. Zanster, by the way, looks like he's not going to be too sneaky, I guess. I don't know. Like, so he's sneaking around the outside of the map. He didn't want the probe to catch him. He's going to go for the proxy hatchery. Backside, build the spines, break the rocks down, you name it. And this is something that did kill FeaR the first time around. Now, that being said, FeaR... he's not darting for a fast Nexus necessarily. If he recognizes what the problem is sooner than later, hell, he might even go for a Forge. I want to say it was Neeb. I could be incorrect on this. I think it was Neeb actually had the same situation presented to him. But the fact that he had built cannons in exactly the right spot, preventing the spine crawlers from being able to root anywhere on the ramp, obviously, and not being able to make it to the high ground without being killed, made this defense look so easy and silly. That being said, cannons I think are the last thing most people consider. And it looks like, having scouted just one base, yeah, FeaR's going to prioritize the Cyber Core over top of the Nexus. Now, we'll see. He's going to need to still expand, but the question is going to be, like, when does he choose to do it? Is he comfortable just getting this out ASAP, getting the Mothership Core, and thus delaying his Nexus for, like, 2 to 3 minutes? Or does he throw that down over top of the other things? I mean, the Zealot comes out immediately. That's one thing. And a Zealot... followed up by another Zealot can certainly tango with the spine crawlers, but if you guys have watched Scarlet specifically try and execute this, she's actually really good at dancing the spine crawler positioning around. These pylons coming down will help with an overcharge as well, but I'm really curious about, again, how these Zealots get used. Zanster's a little bit low in cash at the moment, so canceling these to rebuild them is not necessarily an easy option either. So also got to make sure that the drones don't get picked off, as the Zealots will just swing at them as they knock down the buildings. A couple Lings come out, going to try and distract. If the Zealot's chasing them around, then it can't kill the spine crawlers, and the spine crawlers can then, of course, just kill those pylons. I don't think the pylons actually have the damage to do too much, though. They're not going to cancel the Nexus, for example. I guess you can't cancel the Nexus. It's finished. You can't kill the Nexus. There you have it. But Zanster can't really afford to bring too many more drones over. He's got Lings coming from the main, and that's okay, and that's dandy, but realistically, these spine crawlers, as they get built and as they get canceled, he can't replace the drones for them. So looking for that one to finish up, but I don't think it should. Gets killed, no cancel. Queen dies with it. FeaR may have already defended this. I'm not sure. Like, 2 spines finishing is not too scary. The mothership core will actually kill one. If that queen hadn't died, she'd be able to fight that mothership core off as well. I mean, there's a lot of just problems with this, and it's not that Zanster's making crazy mistakes. FeaR responded to this really well this time around. Further by the fact that there's no Nexus, Zanster hasn't... Oh, he has confirmed that. Excuse me, he's got an Overlord there. So he knows that while this might not be going too swimmingly for him, he's not super behind for it either. It's not like FeaR's up a whole base on him. Not just yet, at least. These Lings will try and sneak into the base, and it looks like they'll get on top of that pylon. Zealots on the wrong side of the wall can't really stop that where they are. Mothership core going to go down to the Queen. It's not going to be something he wants to lose, but Queen range is so good, she will still pop off. Lings run around the Zealots and decide to go for the pylon on the other side. Just going to play a ring around the Rosie and go back to the main afterwards. Lots of Lings running from the side. And while an Immortal may have been made, an Immortal might just be the answer to deal with, for example, spine crawlers. It's not going to do well with a huge flood of Lings. Realizing how important it is to finish his Warp Gate tech too, lots of pylons coming down. If these Lings kill all the pylons, yeah, that depowers the gateway, but it stops Warp Tech, which I think is arguably a little more important to deny. The Immortal also out in the open could get caught. This is a little bit scary for FeaR in this situation, guys. Well, the spine crawlers, while this has been going on, have been slowly chipping away at the wall. The queens, of course, slowly working away at the pylons. Not a lot to really be done through this, as there's not 3 spine crawlers now, and you don't want to invest in more. But the Immortal gets caught out in the open. Oh, that's a bit of a mistake. The Overcharge is going to chase off the Lings. That got scary for FeaR. It's, again, like, it's 1 spine crawler. It's going to get transfused a couple of times, maybe, but that Immortal is still there to make sure that it's not going to be a lot more than that. Lings running from the backside, and he's making 7 drones. What? Okay, Zanster's going to start macroing a little bit behind this. But with the door opening, the Lings can flood and possibly sandwich even. Maybe? The spine crawler goes down pretty quick, so that kind of sucks to lose. No transfuses really went into that, so they'll have to go into the queens. Lings running around from the side as this is fully walled off now. I don't think Zanster realized that. He was hoping to come in from both angles of the attack, which would have been a great move, should he been able to pull it off. Fortunately, wasn't. Queen's going to try and focus down the Adepts. The Zealot, it's smooth. It looks like this will get smothered, but there's not a lot of Lings left to deal with the Immortals. Had he continued with a gigantic all-in instead of making those 7 drones, I think this hatchery very well may have gotten away with a little bit more than it did. Queen's trying to keep it alive a little bit longer, and of course the Immortal's still standing. Queen's really low and getting quite hectic here as Zanster's starting to trickle into just nothing. I think FeaR's won the game, to be honest with you guys. Especially if that Immortal gets out of there alive. Looks like it just might. Link's going to die for it, not get it. It has exactly 14 health remaining. FeaR, I think, has got this game. Oh, SC2 Bren! StarCraft 2 Bren, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Of course, reminder, guys, I love you all for subscribing to the channel, and you have my gratitude for helping us make StarCraft 2 great. But if you want to make this particular tournament awesome, you'll have to go to subscribe on TakeTV's channel. I say this because, well, I do love TakeTV, and I hope they always grow and do the best they can. Specifically, 50% of subscriptions and donations on TaKe's channel is going to go to improving the prize pool. They're up to $750 at the last check. Maybe it's more now. I don't know. But subscriptions and donations on this channel stay on this channel. So I just want to make sure that people don't feel swindled, cheated, or anything like that. You know exactly where all the money's going for today. Now, I said that this game is probably over, and I still stand by this. For me, Zanster doesn't really have a lot of gas. He doesn't really have a lot of tech. He's recently got back on mining gas. He tries to take a third, very greedy, to make up for the fact that he is behind, but I don't know that that will make up for it. FeaR's in no position to push across the map, but FeaR's also in no position to lose to anything Zanster could possibly sling at him right now. There's a lot of overcharges in this mothership core. The army's protected by a lot of sentries. There's no roaches. There's no ravagers. Force fields are going to be the kingmaker. In fact, I said he probably shouldn't push. It's worrisome because he doesn't really know what Zanster has behind this, but that push is going to go uncontested. Well, Lings run by, they get pushed away by the overcharge immediately, and there's nothing to defend over here. There's queens. That's it. Maybe a couple Lings that they spawn, but again, this comes down to those force fields. Those come down to the Adepts. I think FeaR's going to tie this up 1-1 and give us a third and final match in this group. There's group finals, excuse me, as I remember to finish my sentence. Not just trail off needlessly. Yeah, that was a massacre. GG, well played. Good response out of FeaR as he holds the line and ties it up now 1-1. Okay. Let's check that Twitter poll, by the way, and see where we're at. See if it's still going to be a majority of people looking for Group E, I think it is. Yeah, 61% voting on Group E, 39% voting on Group G. So after this, we will most likely get into the group that is Demuslim, Mana, DNS, and Damaga. But we still got this last game to get through. Game number 3 before we even worry about that. I don't know if the next series will start right away or if there'll be downtime. But I'll be taking advantage of all the downtime I can get my hands on, as Solocast is going to be quite the chore for today. Quite the chore indeed. I'm up to the task. I'm up to the challenge. But I will say in advance, guys, 12 hours is going to be pretty rough because I did not get a lot of sleep going into this. My best bet, though, is probably if we don't get an actual downtime between this series, at some point during the next group, I will have to stop and get some food. It's been almost 7 hours since I ate. Kind of feeling a bit peckish, a bit hungry, if you will. Just waiting on players to set their races. I guess we'll just show you guys the in-game screen. You don't need to look at my ugly mug. You can just wait for this to get going over here. Now that's not a bot account. I don't know what is. Man, I don't know what's up with Twitter. Like, so there was this huge wave of time where Twitter and those like sexy, I'm in your area, I want to sex you bots were getting really out of hand. And now it's just like all of these really fake people following me who are very clearly not real. And I don't know what to do about that. I mean, on one hand, it's like nice to see my Twitter following look amazing, but it also kind of sucks knowing that some of them aren't real. But I guess you're gonna pick up bots no matter where you go, just the amount you get. A bit of a cancel there to get the extra drone out instead of an overlord. Okay, Zanster, are you just playing greedy or are you going across the map? He's going across the map. Ladies and gentlemen, bottom left side of the map, we got the red Zerg player going for it one more time. Probably going for the gold more than a proxy, but either way, it's going to be Zanster. And it's on the top right, going to be the blue Protoss FeaR, who, again, credit to this guy, just qualified into the Dutch StarCraft League round of 8. We cast him in a group yesterday. And looks like Zanster is going for the gold. Okay, problem is, while proxy hatcheries are something to look out for and be alarmed about, a gold base is actually kind of difficult to scout. But Galactic Process is actually a very specific map where we see Zerg players doing this very greedy move. And FeaR should be able to check this. Like, I think what you do is you go across the map, you check for the natural base, you see nothing there, you go north. You look for that gold. This other probe's going around to look to see if he took his gold, but FeaR knows what's up, and he's going to confirm this. Now, this is both good and bad. On one side of this, you can't really rush anything else to stop it. Unless FeaR had a Forge down and was intentionally trying to cannon rush, he wouldn't be able to get over here and do anything about it. So Zealot comes out slow, Adept comes out slower, Stalker comes out slowest. Like, there's just no way to get across the map and shut down that hatchery. And ideally, Zanster, well, he's going to play a bit greedy, try and get a bunch of drones up. He's also going to be able to free up some supply there for Lings and make sure that if there was a really early poke, if it was the Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core of old, it wouldn't kill that base. Down here, though, we did have a probe sneak by. This was one of the, I think, initial scouting probes. And hides out for the time being, so a pylon and a gateway might come down a little bit later to do some damage. I'm being told I should grow a mullet and a mustache. Boom, instant viewers. Is that how guy cleavage works? I should just get a mullet? Business in the front, party in the back? I got you. I got you. Unfortunately, I will not stoop to such low standards of clickbait to get viewers, so I thank you for looking out for my well-being, but I'll stay away from the mullet for the time being. I'm okay with that. First time player says bots are people too. That is literally incorrect. If you're a robot, you are not a people. Kendall Roney says, I'm actually one of those sexy bots. Sorry, bruh. Oh, dude, well, you just exposed yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, son. Lings are going to run away, and the adepts will still chase after. Get a couple of kills, not bad. Zanster doesn't really have a lot set up to do a big attack, as I don't know where the camera's looking right now. There we go. He is just kind of focusing on getting the gold going. Which he does have going, by the way. That income's looking nice. And as his natural base finishes up to become his third, that'll be even better. But while it's every Zerg player's dream to just kind of drone and hit 70 and then even more if you're lucky, he is going to have to start worrying about an attack soon. And Zanster doesn't have a lot of scouting. In fact, when the Overlord's speed, his scouting is super limited. So he's not going to see a lot of what's going on. And the probe may not have stayed over here to do a pylon and whatever. There's still a Dark Shrine coming out. And a Warp Prism's going to be able to warp those in wherever necessary. So for Zanster's sake, I am worried. The way he's playing, I don't think we're going to see a super fast layer. We got no Spore Crawlers down. If Zanster loses to Dark Templar, I'm going to be very sad. Be a very sad puppy. One Spore actually does come down at the gold, however, so this is a pretty nice choice. Okay, it's detection, but also helps ward off the Mothership Cooler or even Oracles or anything that would otherwise kill this mineral line. Yeah, Warp Prism just going to buy its time for the time being. I don't know whether FeaR's going to put the pressure on the gold. It's really tempting, because one, it's a really big, high-yield income base for low amounts of workers. You want to shut it down. You want to make sure they're not getting away with it. Alternatively, though, it is very exposed, and thus making it a bit of a weakness. Excuse me as I continue the weaknesses. My alternative point on this, though, was if he does go attack back at home, this leaves this base to freely mine, and more importantly, reinforce with. Spore Crawlers are down in every mineral line. The layer is mostly finished. It looks like the Dark Shrine is not going to be the easy victory that FeaR was hoping for. But I do like this aspect of having 2 Warp Prisms now. That's cool. Haven't actually seen really good Warp Prism use since back when Todd was even still a player. That's a bit of a throwback there to that King Sejon game, I remember. Hallucinating Warp Prisms was like the coolest thing I ever watched Todd do. Anyways, point of this is there's going to be DTs from both angles, neither of which are going to be easily noticed, and the army is going to be scattered, to say the least. I actually don't know that Zanster can deal with this very easily. Warp Prism's going to be immediately shot at with a Spore Crawler, so warning shots over there. We got a drop goes off in the main while this happens, too. The Spore Crawler almost gets the Warp Prism. 2 health remains back over here, deflected as well, and these DTs did not get the damage that FeaR was banking on. I mean, these really were meant to do a lot more than kill 5 drones. And barely that. Do bots get fake sexy human followers? Yeah, that's a really good question. Like, if a human gets sexy fake bot followers, would a bot get sexy fake human followers? That really asks the deeper question, though. How real are any of us? I think, therefore I am, but is that enough? At the end of the day, can you even prove your own existence other than simply being? Alright, this is getting too deep 5 me, guys. Turns the Dark Templar into an Archon. I actually like this a lot. I think 2 Archons could do a lot more damage than, hell, even just 1, but it's going to bring this back, and Roaches should be able to push it off. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. Call Me Lee says, for a shout out, all I have to do is expose myself. Well, mistakes were made, son. You just got exposed for preparing to expose yourself. It wouldn't have been a real exposition. It would have been fake. You were planning to fake it. Alright. Or, I guess this is kind of a bit of a stalemate as far as how this was, I thought, going to go. Back at home, FeaR is picking up his production. I actually really like this wall he's set up. You have gateways and pylons, so should the rocks break, and they typically actually do quite a bit on this map, on this matchup, he'll have that second wall to fall back to, a little bit of extra time. Lots of immortals have been made, Blink's getting research, plus 1's underway, but I do want to point out the Spire that's just come down into play for Zanster. Where do you build out the main? Okay, it gets hallucinated scouted, so it shouldn't be the end of the world for FeaR. Unfortunately, though, it's not necessarily like throwing down 2 Stargates that is the answer to this. Like, the potential mutas are scary, yes, but having that much money invested into Phoenix that ultimately might be worthless or not good either. I think for FeaR, his best bet at this point, just keep hammering in those upgrades. Plus 2 Blink Stalkers and plus 3 Blink Stalkers can pretty easily deal with mutas. But if Zanster sets up for a base trade, that's a whole nother can of worms altogether. And it's a lot harder to scout for something like that, too. But Zanster does take 5 bases now, as he claims the upper left of the newfound hatchery. Sport Prism still sitting at 2 health. My god. Alright, finally gets picked up. Sport Prism goes down. Archon with it, too. Got, was this, Adepts, not DTs, coming to the natural base. Unfortunately, does not work out too well, and things explode and die and disappear. Emphasis on disappear. Creep start for Zanster is actually something I wasn't paying attention to, but as I look real quick, this is getting across the map really quickly. And on one hand, like, yeah, FeaR's going to have to clean that up, but on the other, this is going to start just straight up blocking bases soon. Yeah, 17 mutas for that swap. Going to be certainly catching him off guard. Zanster's shown Hydras, which I think is that dedication to make your opponent really think, hey, it's all ground from here on out. That being said, I'm not super convinced the mutas is going to be the best option. There's no way they're going to be able to just simply A-move into the Stalker fight and take any sort of fight over here. But getting around the Stalkers, going for Harass, hitting the natural base, catching Disruptors, catching Immortals, that's what the mutas are really built for, and that's what they're really meant to do. So, natural base has no real defenses. One single cannon might buy a little bit of time, but I don't think it'll be all that much. Roaches and Hydras get pushed back on the top, and it's worth noting Zanster took some really heavy losses for this really sick fake out. He also distracts both these armies here on the left side of the map while the mutas go to the right. Kill that cannon, all the probes die. Oh, that was a quick follow-up. Oh no. Alright, down to 49 workers, still a few more going to die. Cannon going to get focused once again. Stalkers reveal themselves, and Overcharge pops off. There's more pylons where that came from, though. And Zanster does have to back away from this, but not before securing 22 probe kills. This, however, has triggered what appears to be a bit of a base trade, and this is where I think Zanster falls short. He's going to have something like 30 mutas. 31, 40, something close to that for muta count. A decent amount of lings underneath this. But still, none of what he has can really take on the army engagement of Zanster. Or, sorry, excuse me, of FeaR. Like, Zanster can't really take a proper head-on brute force engagement. He's going to try to back at home. Drones get pulled. Lings go into the action. The mutas are not enough damage to take out the Stalkers. And you know what, guys? FeaR might have won this game. As the mutas try and reconsolidate themselves together, the drones were killed. Massive death. I mean, 52 to 25. This isn't looking good. Hatchery goes down. Muta's coming back for that second round, but the Stalker count's a little too high. The upgrades are not quite on +2 yet, but they're about to be here in 1 second. There we go. +2 finishes up. Gonna shred the rest of the mutas down to 10. And this feels like a giant countdown to death. As 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, it's GG. Congratulations to FeaR, who will make it out of the group as the last and final member of Group F. Sad to see Zanster go down. I was actually really enjoying watching him play, and I thought he was playing really well today. That being said, I'm going to see if there's downtime. I'm assuming there's downtime. But we're going to go to a break ourselves. And it's going to be a bit of a longer break here because we got the next group coming up. I think they have to do vetoes. Something like that. Yeah, so next group we're going to be doing will be Group E, Mana, Muslim, DNS, and Damaga. I don't know the matches. I don't know the match order just yet. I think it's 1 versus 3 and 2 versus 4. Either way, I'll be back in a bit. Thanks for watching, guys. And remember, get in on the G2A giveaway while you can. ! Giveaway in chat. And then I guess the other last point is I've put our most recent... If you're on Twitch... Scroll down below. I put our most recent mutation video down there. I'd love if you guys would check it out. Maybe, especially because this could be a lot of downtime.